Hey guys, what is up? Sleepy Night 77 aka Kyle back here with week 2 of our UPC Season 3, I think. Season 3 match against Carson and the Arizona Diamondstorms. Now last week we took a 3-0 loss against Jutton and the San Diego Swallots, and it was a disappointing loss. His defense pretty much just ousted our offense, and we just weren't able to overcome the Chansey Togetic Gorgeist core that he had. But here, we got a little bit of a different matchup. It's still pretty bulky. He's got Snorlax, he's got Clefable, and he's got Ferrothorn on his team. He also has something else that was like very bulky. I can't remember what it was, but just he had a pretty bulky team. He didn't bring Infernape, which I thought he was gonna bring, which felt it could have been a problem for my team, but in the end he brought Jolteon, Snorlax, Mismagius, Clefable, Mega Alakazam, and Ferrothorn, and we are rocking out with Diancie, Shaman, Meloetta, Banette, Scolipede, and Crocodile. Most of these Pokemon making their first appearances. Shaman, Crocodile, Scolipede making their first appearances, and this is the first time I am seeing this team in action. So week 2 begins as soon as the video decides to go. Week 2 begins now. So we got Ash issuing a challenge, and he leads Ferrothorn, which I kind of figured. I am Focus Ash Diancie this week for this Ferrothorn, so I literally had to just get up Stealth Rocks, and that was the plan. Stealth Rocks, Speed Boost Scolipede, and just see where it goes from there. And I kind of get lucky there. He misses the first Power Whip, so I was like, screw it. I have Hidden Power Fire, might as well go for it. See what happens, and I go for it. It does more than half. I'm actually kind of impressed by that, because this is like a basically uninvested Diancie I got going on here, so it does like more than half to that thing. I'm pretty happy, and I just decided to go for Hidden Power Fire again, and I get paralyzed. He paralyzed me with a Thunder Wave, and that's gonna play later on, and I just get so frustrated with paralysis, but I figure I can scare this Clefable out, even if it's Calm Mind, because I know it's Magic Guard, so it's not unaware, but I figure I can scare out this Clefable because it's Magic Guard, not unaware, and I figure I can just set up a sub on this. So he's going to send out his Spike right here, and I am going to set up the sub right now, and that puts us up to 1 speed boost, and I'm going to protect on the next turn to put us up to 2 speed boosts as we wait for the video to catch up with my commentary. I protect, get up my second speed boost right here. He goes for Power Whip. I guess that's all he really had. He didn't bring Gyro Ball, which I kind of find a little bit odd because I had this speed boost thing going on, and Gyro Ball really would have helped him. But then I misclick and just switch as opposed to baton passing. So yeah, that was the thing that happened. So now Meloetta's out here. Hi Meloetta, how you doing? You're unprotected. You're not behind a sub, and you missed a Focus Blast. Enjoy. So he sets up his rocks, which, thank you for not paralyzing my Meloetta. Thank you for not paralyzing my Meloetta. And I was like, well, I missed the Focus Blast. I'm just going to switch out here. Don't want to risk another miss. So I'm just going to go back into my Scolipede. If he's going to let me set up, he's going to let me set up. And I'm completely fine with that. And obviously the Poison Stone's getting in, and he goes for Thunder Wave and paralyzes me. And that's just where my frustrations begin, because I'm gonna switch out here. I'm gonna sub up here, I mean, and set up the sub, and he's gonna Power Whip. He hits the Power Whip. It's not very effective, but he crit me. It still doesn't get rid of the sub, and I get up 1 speed boost. Thinking to myself, alright, cool, this is great, it's great. I try and protect, get paralyzed. And there's the power whip, not very effective. Another critical hit, and my sub fades. So now I'm paralyzed. I get up my second speed boost, and he withdraws Spike, and I get to set up a second sub here on the Mismagius switch in. So I set up sub here, it goes down to 53. Get my leftovers recovery, and that's the third speed boost. So now I'm plus 3 speed, I'm still paralyzed. He used Destiny Bond. I had Poison Jab on this thing. My other option that I was going to go for was Mega Horn, so it was going to be not very effective either way. And I get paralyzed, so be it. It just frustrated me. I think I've gotten, what, 2 moves off with paralysis, so yeah, great. He Shadow Balls my sub away, and I try and Baton Pass here again, and I get paralyzed. Still 2 attacks off. Still 2 moves off. Now my leftovers recovery brings me up to 83. And now we're at plus 5. And he Shadow Balls me, and I'm like, oh, please live, Scolipede. Please live. Please live. He lives on 5, and he gets the move off to the Baton Pass. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! And who we going out into? Meloetta. Of course. Meloetta Bay. As you obviously know, Meloetta is my mascot, so I had to pick it up, and now it's at plus 5 speed, and I decided to set up a Calm Mind because I don't really know what this thing wants to do. I know it gets Dark Pulse, which really scared me, but I'm just going to set up a Calm Mind, Special Attack Raise, Special Defense Raise. He Dazzling Gleams me, and he crits me. So I'd really appreciate if he stopped critting me. That'd be great. And yeah, so I just decided to go for another Calm Mind, seeing as that did basically nothing. I decided to go for another Calm Mind and get the Special Attack Raise, and he's going to go for another Dazzling Gleam, which is going to do even less than the first. It's going to bring me back down to about that 80 range, and I get more leftovers recovery than that did damage. And so I decided that I've played enough games. I'm going to Psychic, and I'm going to destroy this Mismagius. So, bye Mismagius. And so, he's gonna send out his Galaxy here. Now, Galaxy is the Clefable, and I Hyper Voice. I'm at plus 2. I figure, you know, whatever. That does good 3/4, and he's gonna Moonblast. I'm like, oh, please don't lower my special attack. And that, again, does like 10 points of damage. Didn't lower my special attack. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm in a pretty good position here, you know. I'm gonna go for another Calm Mind. The reason I went for that was because I knew he had Snorlax, and I was calcing the Snorlax this entire time. And if it was AV Snorlax, I needed 3 Calm Mind boosts. So, it does a solid about 20, I guess. Doesn't get the special attack lowering, so I get to blow this thing back with a Hyper Voice the next turn. So that's 2 kills for the Meloetta. Down goes Clefable. Meloetta gets its leftovers recovery, and we're looking pretty good right now. Now this thing comes in, Snorlax comes in, takes its Stealth Rock damage, and I'm like, please hit Focus Blast, please hit Focus Blast, yes! Now, I calced it at plus 3 too. Hyper Voice had a 33% chance to kill Sword Psychic, they have the same base power, but I didn't want to risk it. It was either risk a roll or risk a Focus Blast miss, and if I hit the Focus Blast, it was dead. And if I missed, I was dead anyway, so he has to Mega Evolve first turn. Mega Alakazam traces my Serene Grace, but I'm plus 5 speed, and I'm plus 3 special attack. This Hyper Voice is just going to one-shot this Mega Alakazam. So that's 4 kills for the Meloetta. as it gets its leftovers recovery and slowly builds back up its HP. Now he sends out Nicola, that is the Jolteon, and I was like, oh man, this thing may be fat, and then I realized I was +5, and I'm like, nope, Hyper Voice, down goes the Jolteon. And last but not least, we have the Ferrothorn. Now the Ferrothorn did have me a little bit worried, but I realized it was a +3, and Hyper Voice and Psychic did about half. So down goes the Ferrothorn. Meloetta gets all 6 kills this week. Get a nice 6-0 over Carson and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Now Carson is a very good battler. I have much respect for Carson. He's one of my good friends in the league, and I talk to him all the time. That battle didn't go his way, unfortunately, but he is a very good battler, and I look forward to battling him later on in the APA season. I believe I battle him week 10, so I know he's going to be looking for a little bit of revenge there. So without further ado, guys, my name's SleepyKnight77. We are at 1-1 in the UPC, and I look forward to seeing you guys for week 3 next time.